Yo guys, it's Shadow here, welcome back to some Space Engineers, and our tanks are full! Yay, I did this off camera, and you can see I actually didn't have to dig that much of a trench to fill them up. Well, it's still a shit ton of material, but yeah. And also, it seems that hydrogen does not weigh anything, because we're still about 250 tons. Which is way less than when it was filled with ice. So either hydrogen weighs nothing or it weighs so little that it doesn't matter. Anyways, we're gonna go back. That's what we're doing today. We're gonna travel back and hopefully arrive there safely without destroying everything that we've built up so far. And yeah, right now I'm a bit conflicted if I should just, you know, put the whole journey in the video, because we've already discovered the route, basically. It's nothing new. But yeah. Oh, hold on. Maybe I should... hold on a second. I probably should at least turn around these things. Are they full of ice? They're full of ice. Oh, that is not good. Hold on, can we move them? Oh yeah, okay, so there's only one drill that is full of ice. Very good. That makes things a little bit easier, to be honest. Let's see, drill, there we go. And now this one should be empty, meaning we can just saw it in half. Well, kind of. Alright, let's just put it like that. Fuck the jumping. We have hydrogen now. Now we use the jetpack, like we don't care. There we go. Now, over to this one. Okay, now we have to move this one over. Which one is the new one? Is it drill 4 or the drill? Let's move it to here. It's gonna be fine. Go. Very good. Yeah, like this we shouldn't make too much of a mess of our truck. Let's see, and then, oh yeah, okay, we moved it into the wrong drill. Oh well, it was drill 4 then. Drill. There we go.
Inventory full.
Inventory full. Yes, I know. There we go. Loading everything into that. Boom. And I think with that we should be ready. Hopefully. Mostly. We'll see. We'll see if we're actually ready or not. But it should be fine. I hope. I guess we're just gonna see if we're gonna make the journey back. I mean, as I said, probably we'll cut out a part of that because it's not really that interesting, is it? So, yeah. Let me check real quick. Is there anything we can talk about? Oh, yeah. Well, what I can actually talk about right now, I'm trying to drive up this thing. Ooh. Well, fuck it. Fuck all of that. That is not worth going back now, is it? So what I can talk about theoretically is that this is actually a pre-recorded video, so should there be any sort of update or anything that will come in the next few weeks, or no, not in the next few weeks, I mean next week specifically, then I won't be really able to tell. Because this is recorded on a Monday. Normally I record it on Thursdays when the updates come out. But this weekend I'm gonna be at Wacken Open Air in northern Germany, so I have to pre-record this stuff. Therefore, if you think I missed something in an update that just came out and you want me to talk about it, well, I'm sorry, it's gonna have to wait till next week. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. looking forward to it. It's always great going there, listening to some cool bands and stuff. It's just a whole bunch of fun, a good experience overall. So yeah, that's one thing I can talk about. I mean, the other thing that we could talk about is what I'm going to do after I'm back at the base. Generally speaking, I think it would be a good idea to start constructing a rocket, right? Because now we have the hydrogen and we should be able to make it out into space, pretty much. At least that's what I believe. So that should be our next goal. A rocket that has enough power, enough storage of hydrogen, everything, to make it into space, basically. So that will be our main goal. And then, yeah, then from there on out it's going to be space station and space mining ship and all the good stuff that we know and love about space engineers. Then it's really going to be space engineers. Right now it's planet-bound engineer with a jetpack, mostly. So I'm actually looking forward to this portion. You know, I'm always a big fan of constructing things in space. I have to say the planets... Ooh. Jesus, that was a jump, wasn't it? Oh, too bad I wasn't in third-person mode there, but I'm pretty sure that was a decent jump. I think the planets became more interesting. Way more interesting than in the beginning. But they still don't measure up to space. Because quite frankly, in space you will make more interesting encounters, you know, with pirates, space pirates and whatnot. It's just easier to construct things. It's just everything is easier and you have more options, basically, because you don't have to quarrel with gravity. You know what I mean? That makes a lot of designs more viable that are not viable on an Earth-like planet with such high gravity. You know, things like mining ships. You can make mining ships on an Earth-like planet, of course you can, but they're much more energy intensive than a normal mining ship is. Because normal mining ships, they just have to kind of propel you through to the asteroid, and then they have to just, you know, little thrusts to get into the asteroid, mining, and then you just fly back to base, which only takes energy on acceleration, and then you can you know, put off the dampeners, then let that do the work, you know? So, yeah, it's, everything is easier, everything is a bit more convenient in space, which is weird, because space is technically really dangerous, right? But for some reason, space is better. The only danger in space is that you need to have oxygen all the time, and hydrogen too, otherwise you cannot really move. But both of these shouldn't be too much of a bother. Mostly. But yeah, we'll see. So far this journey is going spectacularly well, I have to say. It's kinda almost too good. I have the feeling something terrible is gonna happen soon. Cannot be that easy. Well, we're felling trees again. The god of nature will strike back on us one day. You know, it would be kind of cool to have more like plant work in the game that actually matters. Because let's be honest, what are the trees other than decorations? You know, again, comparing it to another similar game, but that is not actually that similar. Oh god, what is it even called again? The one that I always compare this game to? Ah, now I even forgot the name of it. Oh well. But yeah, there's other games where the vegetation actually has a purpose, you know, it can give you food, it can give you medicine, but here, nothing. They just they're just ragdoll trees, basically. There for you, for your enjoyment to throw around. I think I have to navigate around this craziness, right? Yeah, pretty much. Okay. If I drive down here, I'm never coming up again, I think. Empyrean! That was the game I was looking for. Yeah, in Empyrean you have basically the first like food sources are these corn dog plants, I think they're called them. Something like that. They're like your first food source, and then they have certain plants that give you ingredients for bandages and stuff like that. You know, it's not like you have these plants for all game long. They're not there. You don't need to pick plants all game long, you know, to survive. It's just for the start, which would be kind of charming. It would give you a bit more sense of progression, I suppose. You know, if you first you had to have, you basically need to cut down trees and harvest plants to survive before you could really, you know, build all the high-tech stuff. But I'm not quite sure the Space Engineers players would like that, because they're used to having, you know, all these high-tech things from the start. You know, being able to construct steel stuff from the start, being able to make pretty much all the thrusters, or at least the ones that matter from the start. In Empyrean, it's a much like bigger progression than it is in this game, and I'm not sure people would like that, because I've seen a lot of people complaining about the progression system they already put in, which is fair. You can't complain about that. It's not a very smart system in that sense. But yeah, I don't know. It has advantages and disadvantages, I suppose. But maybe that would be a bit too much, you know, to have to be need to basically farm the basic resource, because it would keep you on planets a lot longer, and I'm not sure people would like that. But yeah, I mean, there's always the space start for people who don't like that, I suppose. I think we jumped again. This is quite a jumpy vehicle for being... Oh, now we're not 250 tons anymore, now we're only 188 tons. We shaved about 70 tons off with the drills, plus the ice that was in it. I think that was a significant drop in weight. It's a good weight loss program. You just need to get rid of a part of you, and you lose a lot of weight. Obvious, right? Oh well. Maybe it's better that we got rid of the drill. Basically, got rid of the ballast, you know. Like in the hot air balloons, when they drop off the weights, you know. That was kind of what we did, basically. Alright, here comes the most dangerous part, I would assume. Well, right after the mountain checkpoint, that is. And that is, of course, the descent from this very, very high mountain, which we have to do carefully. I mean, if our small vehicle flipped, then this one could flip too. And if this vehicle flips, I think there's no way it A, stays in one piece, and B, that we're just gonna flip it with a bit of drilling. We would have to drill a freaking canyon to make this thing tumble. So, yeah, better safe than sorry, I suppose, right? Oh, that was a very, very vicious, strong tree. Sometimes happens in a lot of these open world games like GTA, that you're mowing down like, you know, like lantern post after lantern post, just mowing all down, and then there's one thing in the way that is not supposed to be run over, and it's like concrete. You just BAM! Plow into it. Dead stop. Okay. Let's go to the GPS. We'll disable all the unnecessary checkpoints. And now we have these 3 checkpoints here that will help me get home. Charlie, Bravo, and Alpha. And from there, from Alpha, I think I should be able to see my home. The beacon, basically. But yeah, first we need to get down. I think once we're at checkpoint Charlie, which I realize is an interesting name if you are aware of German history. It's actually not I didn't name it because of that, but I just went with the normal military naming scheme, I suppose. But yeah, once we're down there, I think we should be fine. Should be safe. Oh god, look at how steep this is! I don't like this. This is like before, you know, when you go on a roller coaster. This is basically the part before you drop, right? Oh, actually, it's not that steep. Maybe it was perspective, but still, it's about It's about the same feeling. You're like, oh no, 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 and then you go down. Let's try to not make this a wild roller coaster ride. Let's just try to make this a smooth ride that everybody will survive, especially our cargo. That is the most important part. If we crash now, then all of this, all the hours, the blood, the sweat we poured into this was for nothing. So that's why I'm over enthusiastically brake every few seconds here, because I don't trust myself. I wonder if I could even choose a more direct descent right into checkpoint Bravo there, but again, I'm not willing to risk our progress here for a little 1-minute shortcut. To be honest, I was already scared just now. That was a little bit too much jumping for my taste. There's a little bit too much unevenness in this terrain. Oh, yeah. It's exactly the kind of stuff that gives me nightmare. Oh, bumpy road. No, no, don't do this to me, game. This is fucking gut-wrenching. I don't know if you can feel that, but I'm on edge right now. Oh, I think we're almost there. Oh, I'm driving like a grandma down here. Overly protective, but my god, I think it's worth it, right? And I think now it's actually appropriate to go towards checkpoint Bravo, more or less. Let's say once we touch the green, once we touch down on the green, we go towards checkpoint Bravo. There's more unevenness. Yeah, yellow treacherous grass everywhere. All right, but here I think. Okay, now I think we're more or less free. Oh god, that was terrifying. From down here it doesn't look that bad, but my god. I'm still very, very cautious. Okay, that journey was still more interesting than I thought it would be. I guess it's just the stress of the knowledge that what happens if I fail. Before it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, if my rover gets flipped and I lose it, it's a bit of material loss, but it's not the end of the world. If this thing flips, it's basically the end of this campaign. Because that is like 20, 30 hours. No, maybe not that much, but it's a lot of hours of progress lost. Well, I guess if it flips and the hydrogen tanks are okay near our base, we could technically move our base over to the vehicle and then start the base from there and reroute the hydrogen from the vehicle into the base. But again, if I can do this the normal way, I will try. This is probably the last terrible part of this journey. I think once we got this, we're okay. Let me try to... Oh, this is gonna be awkward as heck. Oh, how do we get down here? Hold on. I do not trust myself. I'm gonna save real quick, just in case. And hope it does not autosave. Let's save this as shadow number 4 in case it goes bad. There we go. Let's just try this. No. Okay, I think we're fine. Note that I had the brakes on all the time and we still moved, and no! Okay, we're reloading. I'm sorry. No, we're not letting this happen. Not on my watch. That's exactly why I saved the game. Oh boy, was it good that I did the extra save state. You know why? You might have caught it on video. When I exited, I said save. That's why I do these, because I know my own nature and that I will do stuff like that. Let's try it again, but very slowly. Again, note, I have the handbrakes on. It's moving by itself, just from the sheer angle. Maybe... Okay. I probably loosened the handbrakes too early before. Okay. Fine. It's fine. Nothing happened back there. I'm sorry. Normally I'm trying not to do this safe, the reload, safe reload kind of thing. Well, actually I do it kind of a lot, so you should be used to that by now. But normally in Space Engineers I don't do it a lot, but again, there's just too much depending on this to not save and reload, right? I mean, yeah, that was... Can you imagine if I didn't save there, or I accidentally overwritten all the save files and basically I had to deal with this now? I think I would have just rage quit at that point. Oh, hold on. Almost went to jump again there. But yeah, this is basically flatlands now, which shouldn't be a problem too much. Ah, there's our base. Oh, when is the last time we've seen our base? Well, actually I've seen it a few times before, which you didn't when I went back to get some materials, but it was still a long time ago. I mean, damn. I'm not even sure it's running. It's still running. Well, it should, with the wind turbines and the solar panels, obviously. But before, you know, before you had these and you only had solar panels, which were horrendously inefficient of powering things, a lot of bases, especially in multiplayer, you didn't know when you would come back if they would still be online, because you might have run out of power, you know? So, it's good to see that everything seems to be still intact. And yeah, from here it should be smooth sailing, right? I mean, not much that can happen here. Unless one of the trees decides to get stuck in a weird manner and destroy us. Go all Clang on us, you know? I mean, we have a piston on our back. Clang might still kick us in the arse, but shouldn't happen, in theory. Yoink. -1, 3. It's still kind of funny how these they're just like, get the fuck out of here, tree. Bonk. Bonk. Yeah, we're, this is our camouflage, by the way. This is now our military camouflage. Wow, did you see that? We lifted off of the freaking ground. That's what I kind of mean with the trees could still fuck us over. These things are unpredictable in the way they will react with your vehicle. You might launch them into space, or they might launch you. Oh, look at that. No trees, flatlands. I've never been so happy, man. Oh god, okay, it didn't load the trees in. That was that was a short celebration there. I forgot, our base is inside trees. Oh god, 500 meters. The relief. I don't believe this, man. This is insane. How can I fuck up on the most simple parts of this journey? I do not understand. How does this even work? How did that work, by the way? Did you know how that worked? How did I get launched like that? Well, at least we figured that part of the journey out, didn't we? Oh my god. So, 2 fails close to the end of the journey. That's impressive almost. I wonder if I technically should have put a gyro on my vehicle. I guess you guys were right with that, right? Things like that might not happen if I had a gyro. That's just so dumb. This was the flattest part of our journey. I mean, come on. We have basically descended mountains and climbed over uneven terrain that was so bad it could have flipped us at any moment. And then our vehicle decides that, oh look, there's a nice flat place here. Let me lie down for a second. I'm tired. Flip. I mean, come on! Like less than 500 meters away from our base. That is comical. That's irony. That's just bad. Now I'm really angry. Which means I'm probably gonna make more mistakes. Is it when I brake? Is it... Could that be the problem when I brake and our vehicle is too fast that it kind of does a front wheelie? That is so odd. I mean, come on. Also, we're still going down. We're accelerating. This is kind of insane. Maybe that is a problem, that we're still going down and therefore accelerating all the time. That might be a problem too. But Jesus Christ, I mean, I'm gonna save now. At least if we have to reload again, it will be closer to our base, right? Again, it did that little jump. I had the feeling that this vehicle would be a bit better able to deal with these kinds of situations. Turns out I was wrong. This vehicle is just as vulnerable to little bumps as our rover is. Which is insane if you think about it. Yeah, we're still descending. I'm not pressing any buttons, it just goes faster. So we're obviously going downhill still. Not like massive downhill, but there's still a downhill slope. That tree tried to launch us again. Somehow I have the feeling the trees are really sworn in against us today. They planned their revenge from a long hand, and today they have come to execute the plan of really annoying me to death. It's so annoying that you cannot really control your speed in a useful manner in this game. No, it's not like with console games where you press the X button, depending on how hard you press, you accelerate more or less. No, it's just you accelerate or you don't. That's all the modes you get. Sometimes that is a real problem with Space Engineers, that despite of all the interesting systems and the way they interact with each other, the basic control schemes of this game sometimes still lack so much, you know, in just convenience. I mean, have you ever tried to build a turret that is controllable by mouse? That is just so awkward to do. It should be one of the simplest things ever, but it's not. It's super complicated, and most of the time it doesn't work, so... Oh, look, we made it. Hallelujah. I am not even sure I want to leave this base ever again after this. I mean, damn. That was a trip and a half. Here we go. We made it. More or less without incidents. And the incidents that happened were erased from this timeline. I'm going with that story. We're actually a Time Lord, and we just traveled back in time and fixed our mistakes. Yes, we are the Doctor. Okay, so I don't think there's much else to do right now. Next time, when I'm back, I'm gonna start building a rocket. It's as easy as that. And this part here, we might actually use this to then fill our rocket with hydrogen. We need to have a connection anyway, so might as well do that, right? And I kind of have the feeling we want to build like a big tower this time, you know, like you see on space shuttle launches, you know, these big towers where you have several connection points where you can go to the spaceship. That will not only help us in construction, but that will also help us kind of in accessing the thing. So yeah, that is the plan. Alright guys, thanks you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.